So, probably wondering why I wear shades and a hat indoors. It's a pathetic attempt to sort of hide my identity. I had to promise to my family that I would write under a pseudonym so that they're protected, because they're not really spoken of in a good light. Their willful ignorance was just blew my mind. I guess a lot of us experienced the same. Partly the reason why I wrote this book is that I was just absolutely discombobulated with the magnitude of the dystopian world that was emerging and the very real split between society of those who just wanted to be willfully blinkered and had their cognitive dissonance. So it's also a time in history that really needed to be documented. So I thought, let's write it all down, and in real time as things are unfurling. It was quite a cathartic thing to do as well, because it was just blowing my mind. Every day, all day, I was just blown away about the amount of information I was carrying around and how I found it so difficult to offload and to discuss it with people, because I just simply wouldn't want to know. So there's two reasons I wrote the book. One, it was cathartic. This story needed to be told and needed to be recorded in real time. Perhaps it'll be a history book in the future. Perhaps it'll even be in schools or something similar. And also, there's a lot of truth in this book about the science, trust the science, and the staged pandemic. The same can be said about this book. Cathartic reasons, but what a story, what an amazing story. Really the most impressive military operation in history, the biggest sting operation in history, the most complex operation. And when you get to understand Q, and also something called devolution, which is explained in this book, it'll blow your mind. A lot of us experienced a lot of abuse from what we call the normies. We were trying to simply wake them up and explain some of the real science behind the PCR tests and the virus, and the government statistics, and the overall sort of tactics they use to scare everybody into wearing masks. We had a lot of abuse. A lot of us were involved with the vaccination centres and serving notice on them, and trying to inform the parents there with their children, that the risk of the injection is going to be far greater than any viral risk. Anyway, we experienced so much hate and so much vitriol. But when I started to become aware of Q and devolution, and the fact that there is a good force out there actively dismantling the deep state, obviously for me, I haven't been living in fear for quite some time now, but there are a lot of people out there who were awake, who would be extremely abusive and insulting. So I'm a Q-tard apparently, and I'm just sitting back waiting to be saved. But you'll read all about that in this book.